So this weekend we went to the like the part 2 of the Tales Museum, the 30th anniversary Tales Museum. I kind of briefly mentioned this in like a video like 2-3 weeks ago or something. But in Shibuya, in like Muji, like in the Muji building in Shibuya, on the 7th floor, they're doing the Tales of 30th Anniversary Museum, kind of just like highlighting and showcasing a lot of the game's like history, which was kind of cool. But the only thing about it was that like I wasn't allowed to take any video and like barely any photos. Like most of the things you couldn't even photograph. Some of them was like weird though. Like one of the things you weren't allowed to photograph was like a wall, which is like the timeline of all the game's releases. So it had like the year the game came out, and then it had like the box, like the actual game box, like kind of glued onto the wall. And you couldn't take a photo of that, which was weird because I'm like, if you have those games yourself, you can just recreate that wall by just lighting them up and then like having a piece of paper with a date on it. And I don't know, whatever. But yeah, it was split up into 2 different parts, I guess. So the first part was like a selection, not even in like the order of game releases, but just like a bunch of games. So the games that we liked from part 1 were mostly Tales of Arise, Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Exilia 1 and 2, Tales of Symphonia. And then in part 2, which was this weekend, there was Tales of Abyss and Tales of Berseria, I guess, was like one of the ones that we were interested in. But yeah, just like all the Tales games kind of just split up into 2 different parts. Part of the exhibit, I guess if you want to call it that, was the same between the 2 parts, so it was really fast the second time because we got to basically skip all the stuff we've seen before. But yeah, just a little jaunt. I don't have a lot to say about it, but it was one of the things we checked out. Okay, I guess I should try to like add value to this video, so I guess I want to talk about the apps that I use the most just for like daily life in Japan. Like this isn't like a collection of like particularly exciting apps or anything, but like I would say like undoubtedly these are the apps that I use kind of the most, just like living here. Like these are just kind of what I use. So yeah. So first up is honestly just a dictionary app. It's not exactly the most exciting of apps or anything, but I would say for the last like 10 plus years, a dictionary app of some kind, like not necessarily the same app, but just a dictionary app has had a permanent place on the dock on my phone. Like as much as I would like to say that I'm fluent in Japanese, that's not the case. And I don't think it'll ever be the case. At least I don't have the confidence to say that. There's always going to be some words that I'm not sure how to pronounce, or I'm always going to second guess myself, so I want to go look it up. So I've always had a dictionary app on my phone. I'm using Japanese, but it's just called Japanese. I think it's probably exclusive to iOS, but it doesn't matter. Like if you're iOS or Android or whatever, there are like Japanese apps, and I would say just find the one that works for you. I use Japanese I don't know, I think just because I think something about like the vocab list was better for me. But certainly this is just like an app that gets frequent use, and I honestly don't see myself removing it from a dock anytime soon. I mentioned this in like an older video about using OCR to look up words as you play video games, but definitely like when you do that, you can copy the word from your image, paste it into Japanese, and then from the entry, you can just add it to a vocab list really easy. And then when you're done playing and you want to review all the words you looked up in that play session, it's just really easy to go and do that. So I like that a lot. You can also export your lists and then you can import it into a flashcard app for like better study and better attention. So I used to have a whole process like involving like copying a word, pasting it, making a list, and then flashcards, but then I got really lazy. But if you're like learning Japanese and you're taking it very seriously, I think that's a really good way to just collect a lot of words to review later. So next up is an app that I use to navigate the train system. I use an app called NAVITIME to kind of look up train schedule information, train transfers, and that kind of stuff. So if I'm going out anywhere into the city, I'll use NAVITIME to try to figure out when is my train coming, where are my transfers, how many stops until my transfer, that kind of thing. It's just the app that I use like pretty much every single time that I go out into the city, like with no exceptions. You can use other apps if you want. I think Yahoo Japan might have their own transportation like scheduling app. Or you can actually just use Google Maps straight up, like that'll be built in. And I think that might be more useful if you're the kind of person to look up destination to to the from building to building, and including like walking directions. Like you want like the whole trip kind of like scheduled out and like laid out for you, then Google Maps is great for that. But a lot of the times I'm actually just looking up like when is my train coming. I already know like where I'm going. I just want to know like when is the train like gonna be there, and I just use NAVITIME for that. You can use like there's like a paid subscription for it that'll give you like way more information and like reminders of when you have to transfer, like if you're gonna be like sitting on the train and kind of like spacing out or whatever. And that's great if you commute every day and you're the kind of person that wants that. But I've been just using the free version like forever. So the only, I don't want to call it, I don't want to call it like a downside, but the only thing about NAVITIME is that you have to be able to read and type in Japanese. But if that's not a problem for you, then I would say that's probably just like one of the better apps. I think they might have like a version tailored for tourists technically, but that'll be one where you actually can just use like English characters. So, okay, last up is actually not one app, but it'll be, I guess it's like a bunch of apps. So what I mean is that if you've ever done any kind of shopping in Japan, you'll probably quickly realize that a lot of stores have point cards. Either the store themselves has their own like point card and point card app, or it'll use kind of like a generic point card. So like V points, for instance, is taken like a lot of places. But what's kind of frustrating is a lot of those apps, I would say like most of those apps don't integrate with the wallet app on your phone. So either like iOS or Android or whatever, like just the operating system default wallet app that you have on your phone. Like most of the time, the point cards like won't be integrated in that at all. So what you're left with is you just have like a bunch of apps on your phone, and I kind of hate that. So what I recommend actually is using like a quick launch function. So if you have any kind of functionality on your phone to quickly launch like an action or something. So on newer iPhones, that would be like the action button, whatever it's called. I would recommend that you set up some kind of like shortcut, like launcher for specifically just all your point card apps. So I have it set up that where if I push it on my phone, it'll open up a little menu of just all my point card apps. So no matter where I am, like if I'm gonna be out shopping and I'm at the register and I'm paying for my stuff, and the guy's like, do you have a point card? I can be like, oh, right, I do. I can just like whip out my phone, and then without having to search for that particular store's point card app individually, like if I have to remember like what it's called, if it's called something weird or something, or try to dig through it through my library, I don't have to do that. I can just like launch the shortcut, and I'll have all my point card apps kind of listed up there, and I'll just tap the one and I'm good to go. It saves a lot of time, so you don't have to keep people like waiting behind you or whatever. So yeah, not exactly like an app per se, but just I don't know, like a tip regarding all the point card apps you have on your phone. Probably they're not exactly like the most exciting things, but I've realized that like as I'm out like kind of just doing whatever, those are like the three things I kind of use the most on my phone, and it's just been like really helpful for just like kind of living life, you know what I mean? Anyways, that is going to do it for now. Just wanted to make a quick little video, so I don't know, hope you found that at least mildly interesting, and if so, I don't know, then I suppose that's good enough. But yeah, thanks for watching. I mega appreciate it. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.